Hi everyone, today let's talk about the second quarter results for Fundrise. Then we'll go over my current positions as well as what I'm buying. Do me a quick favor and like and subscribe and watch the video till the end to help out the channel, and let's get started. So second quarter for Fundrise did have some pretty solid results. You can see through the end of Q2 they've returned 4.7%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for real estate it's not a bad return, and they did have some pretty tough results last year, so this is a nice result so far for this year. And you can look at their different funds. Flagship fund returning 4.7, income fund 4.03, and overall this is good. And they do mention, although we are seeing the downturn in inflation continue, both occupancy and rate rebounds through the spring were successfully captured, so we are seeing growth in that respect, which is definitely helping their funds. And they also mentioned several high return opportunities. I've seen some of these hitting the accounts here recently. 15% return here in Knoxville, Tennessee, as well as a 25 to 40% return for a logistical facility. These are things like Amazon distribution facilities. These have had really strong returns over the past couple of years. And of course, like any company at this point, they did have to mention the AI tidal wave. They mentioned that Nvidia is responsible for nearly 40% of the entire S&P's returns for this year, which is pretty astounding when you think about it. They also talk about how there is still some debate on what AI will be in the future. I don't really think that that's debatable. I think we're waiting to see the time frame in which it impacts our lives. I think the actual impacts, at least in the short term, are understandable. We're just not there yet with the technology. But they do mention they are trying to build out the real estate side of this. So the Innovation Fund is trying to acquire AI and data focused real estate to add to the portfolio. And they think that this is going to be a $15 trillion wave with a lot of high margin here. So high management fees, high carried interest. And they're hoping to take advantage of that and add it into the company. They say they already manage $1.25 million in assets on behalf of a rapidly growing investor base, and they're trying to get into that opportunity and own a piece of the best companies. And then they mentioned the market swings that we've been seeing. 2021 and 22 were very, very strong, and then we did see a pretty solid down move in 23, while private credit and fixed income did do okay. Real estate as a whole was a tough investment with interest rates rising. Now we're going to see interest rates starting to come down in September, in my opinion, and we've seen a big move up here in 2024. And the question is, how long is that going to last? As a long-term investor, I do think it's going to last a while. And of course, this is a long-term platform. And then they go into the total returns for all of their major funds. Flagship doing quite well. Some of these growth REITs also doing quite well. And then only one of them is negative so far. And then between the different types of funds, Balanced continues to do the best, growth struggling a little bit, and income doing quite well, which makes sense in a real estate style investment. In terms of my portfolio, I have been a very long-term investor with Fundrise since May of 2019. Since then, you can see I've made about $6,400. Not a ton compared to how much money I've put in. Investor fees during that time, only $210. We've been on a pretty solid trajectory as those gains continue to rise. And then looking at the different pieces here, in terms of percentage, 19.5% return for real estate over that time period. Annualized, it's not great at 3.7%, but 20% overall is not terrible. And then you can see the other funds here. 15% of my portfolio is in Fundrise stock, so I do own some of the company. And then venture capital, just a little bit here. They've returned 2.7%. And then private credit, they've returned 30%. Very, very solid. Continuing to increase that percentage of my holdings with Fundrise. And let's go ahead and look at that in dollars here. So you can see real estate, $5,900, the vast majority of the gains. That's obviously the largest part of my portfolio. And then you can see Fundrise stock bought about 10,000. They say it's worth about 17 now, so that's not included in those gains. And then you can see venture bought 5,000 of that. They say it's worth 51.37 now. And then private credit, again, trying to buy more and more of that. Right now, I only own 4,700. This is what I've been buying. And you can see the return there, $360 on their private credit fund, which has been doing quite well. They've been paying really solid dividends there. And then moving over to my current investments, you can see 100% of my money is going into that private credit fund. I was in the growth fund for a very long time, so I have lots of growth, but my private credit fund is quite small. So currently 100% of that money that I'm putting in here is going into that private credit fund. And lastly, here you have their goal tracker. You can see the current goal is 500,000 by 2041, so a little bit less than 20 years away at this point. And they say current projections is 518,000 by July of 2041, with a range of 305 up to 1.2 million. And at my current rate of investment with dividends reinvesting, you can see I will have contributed 125,000 to get to that 518,000, and then current account value is 56,000 because they don't include investments in Fundrise stock. So if Fundrise goes ballistic and the stock becomes more valuable, obviously I'll have more. And you can see how they do this here through time, what the account value is supposed to be, and then it starts to ramp, and then they have this fan to show the highs and lows of the potential path. And if you're interested in Fundrise, go ahead and check out the link in the description. It gives each of us a $50 voucher once you sign up and fund your account, so helps out the channel, and it could be a good addition to your portfolio. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of Fundrise. Are you already an investor, or are you looking for a real estate holding, and does this fit your portfolio? Otherwise, like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading, and have a great day.